Hey, it's Carrie from Wrap Your Head Around Silks. This is the Expecting Airless podcast, now with the Digital Network. How's it going, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. Before we get started, lots of things always happening with Wrap Your Head Around Silks. Roll it out. We meet every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, to foam roll our aerial problems away. This has changed my practice so much. I am no longer in chronic pain. I figured out a way to maintain my aerial body. I would love to see you. We do Zoom, we gossip, we chat. I'm able to focus in on your problems because it's still a pretty small class, and I'd love to have you there. Please go to the show notes to sign up. And if you wanted to do any of the other resources that I have on my website, I have a full comprehensive beginner to intermediate silks course, especially if you're kind of out there teaching yourself on a home rig or something like that. A lot of guidance for you guys. 12 modules. It touches everything. So that might be great for you. Also, we have aerial rehab, which is for postpartum, post-injury, post-surgery, meant to be the bridge between PT and your favorite aerial class. So check that out. Of course, I have a free mini course if you want to just get to know my style. All right, guys, today we have Gabriella. I am not going to attempt to say your last name and completely butcher it. So I'm just going to say Gabriella is here. She is coming to us from Virginia. She's 10 years into her aerial practice. She's 10 months after her first baby was born, and she had all types of things happen. She suffered an ectopic pregnancy and then got pregnant 3 months later, went through nausea, had her baby, birth plan totally out the window, baby had a tongue tie, breastfeeding out the window, and she comes to us 10 months after telling us the blow-by-blow and how she's feeling. All right, guys, let's get started. Gabriella, we have gone through the river and through the woods to get this podcast scheduled. So I'm very grateful that we're here right now. If you would please introduce yourself to the audience, full name, where you live, a little bit about your family, what you do during the day, and then a little bit about your aerial practice, and then we'll get started.
Okay, cool. My name is Gabriella Mikulas. I am in Richmond, Virginia. My family, so I just had a baby boy, River, 10 months ago, almost 10 months ago. I also have a stepdaughter, Willow, and my husband, and he also has another daughter who is 21 and she doesn't live with us. But yeah, we're just a big blended family. My aerial practice, so I teach at Soul Aerial and Performing Arts Center here in Richmond. I started aerial probably almost 10 years ago. So that's really exciting. During the day, I am here with River. Sometimes Willow is also here because we homeschool. And probably around like 3:00, I go in early to the studio, and sometimes River comes with me. Sometimes my husband comes home from work early, and I go in and train a little bit before I teach in the evening. I think I touched on everything.
Yeah. How much do you teach?
Right now, I am teaching 7 classes a week.
Okay, that's quite a lot for having a kid under 1.
Yeah. So it's fun. Usually, so like in the summer, it was kind of spread over like a Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. But then I was like, I kind of just want my days consolidated. I can just knock out all my classes. So right now I have 4 on Monday and 3 on Thursday.
Oh, that kind of works. I mean, it's kind of a tiring 4 classes in a row, but that's better because you go in once.
Yeah. And then I also help choreograph this children's production of Alice in Wonderland, and we rehearse on Saturdays from like 12 to 4. So
okay. Does it feel like a good work-life balance right now?
It does. It does. Getting into like the Alice production and all that stuff, it gets a little crazy for a few months, but the show is the end of January this year, so it'll be over and then I'll have my weekends back and life will be good. But I love doing the show, so it's a good sacrifice.
You know, every time I go into a student show, like student showcase, like being on the choreographic end of it, I say to myself, it's not going to be stressful this time. Like it's not going to stress me out, because why would it stress me out? Like, they're happy to be there. I want to be there. We're doing art. And then every single time,
yeah,
we get 75% through and there's tears, not necessarily from me, but there's tears and there's stress that I never saw coming, even though it happens every time. Right? Am I right?
Every time, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a cast of, I think, 60 this year.
Adults and kids?
Yeah.
Or just adults?
All kids.
All kids?
Yeah, ranging from like 5 to, I think we'll have a couple that will turn 18 this year.
Wow. How long has you guys' kids program been going?
7 years, maybe 10, or maybe almost 10 years.
See, I think that's what it takes, because at the studio, it's not a new studio, it's a new to me studio, the Arium in San Antonio. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have not.
Dara Minkin is our is the aerialist that people know her, Ariel.design on Instagram. She's a bit of a wizard with the split silks, I have to say. You know, it's like a studio that's been around for 6 years-ish. The most current space is like 2 years, and like that kids program is just building now. And it does take a while, because it just takes a while because you have to train everybody from the ground up, of course. So, but that's really exciting that you guys have that much of a student base. That's great.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, so most of the classes that I teach at Soul are children's classes, and I think, I only teach like 3 adult classes.
Okay, and you're not the studio owner, you're staff there. Okay.
I am. Yeah, so like our kids program is like huge, and we're building the adult program.
It's like the opposite of what I'm used to, because I'm used to having like a huge adult program and then kids classes just growing.
Yeah, that's originally what I came from. So.
Okay. Let's go backwards. How are you feeling today in your body?
Today I feel good. Yeah. Let's like this weekend, I think, was the first time I performed since having a baby. So that's cool. I feel like people are always talking about like the 9 months in, 9 months out. And I'm like, yeah, I feel pretty good 9 months out, even though there were times on my journey I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'll ever get there. But yeah, I'm feeling good today.
Okay. So, and then let's go all the way back. Did you guys plan this pregnancy, or was it what they call a surprise blessing?
We planned. We did.
Okay. And was that journey to get pregnant fraught, or was it quite effortless?
It was crazy. I was one of the unfortunate few to have an ectopic pregnancy before I got pregnant with my current child. Yeah.
Okay. And that is a big deal nowadays, depending on what state you're in.
Yeah, I know. Oh my goodness.
And you are, again, say it again, where are you?
What?
What state are you in again?
I'm in Virginia.
You're in Virginia. And in Virginia, is it problematic? Is it difficult to get care?
No, it wasn't problematic for me. But, Virginia is one of those states where it's pretty divided almost equally. So, depending on how things go, we could teeter either way. But yeah, I did end up having to get, I like went into the office and they were like, it's ectopic. And I was like, okay. And they were like, you can either take this pill and maybe save your fallopian tube, or you can just get the surgery and we remove the tube, the pregnancy and everything. And I opted for the surgery, and she was like, yeah, that was probably a good idea because you are kind of further along. So you risk rupture, even with the medication. So yeah, the next day I went into surgery.
So, did you find out you're pregnant in the same day that you found out it was ectopic?
No. So let's see.
Okay,
So long ago.
that's really rough. That's really
Yeah.
rough emotionally.
Oh yeah, it was an emotional roller coaster because I thought so I found out I was pregnant, and I just knew something was like just off. I can't explain it, but I just had a feeling. And let's see, maybe like a week into me knowing, I started bleeding a little bit, and I was like, oh no, I'm probably having a miscarriage, but nothing ever really happened. So when that happened, I went to the emergency room. They're like, you're probably miscarrying, but you should follow up with an OB. And I was like, okay. And so I followed up, and then it was like a week of getting my blood taken every day to see if my HGC, I think
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah, see if my HGC levels were going
So
up.
medical over here on this podcast, so
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah. And they were doubling. So my OB was like, it's doubling. You might be fine. And then I was like, and then I started having a lot of like bright red bleeding. And then she was like, come in today. And then that's when I found out because they were able to see something on the ultrasound. Whereas before it was like too early to see anything on the ultrasound.
So you took a pregnancy test to know that you're pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you're happy, you're excited.
Yeah.
You're like cautiously excited, as we all are.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know because I am not sure of this.
Okay.
Regardless of the medication or the surgery, you lose your fallopian tube regardless? No.
No, the medication you could potentially save your fallopian tube, but there could be scarring inside, which would increase your risk of having another ectopic.
Correct. Okay. And then the surgery.
Remove it completely.
Okay, because I interviewed a woman a long time ago, long enough that I don't remember the details, and she had 5 ectopic
Holy
pregnancies.
moly.
And she ended up having a kid later, so now it's making me think that I need to call our friend Dr. Janae Davis to explain ectopic pregnancies and how they save the fallopian tube.
Yeah.
Because it's possible to have kids afterwards, it's just depending on how it goes.
Right, yeah. So you could potentially, I guess you could take the medication a few times and keep trying, and then maybe you keep getting an ectopic in the same tube.
You have the surgery. What is that pre and post-op like?
So I had never had a surgery before in my life, so I was, of course, distraught about losing the pregnancy, but also distraught about having to go under for the first time. So yeah, and that was crazy because it was all so fast. And then they're like, okay, don't eat anything after, this certain time, or you can't drink any water after this certain time. But I was like on call for the surgery. I guess it depended on when I have no idea how they do it. But I was
you're
just
like hungry and dehydrated.
Yeah,
basically.
hungry, dehydrated, waiting on a call to go into the hospital to do all that. And then, I get there, I get checked in, have the surgery. Post-op, I think it was like 6 weeks healing time before I could do like any strenuous activity or like train or do aerials. Or I think even 6 weeks before you can try to have a kid again. But after that, I probably got pregnant 2 or 3 months after I had the surgery. So pretty quickly afterwards, despite only having one tube. So that was cool.
Yeah, better. The first,
Better.
yeah. I mean, whenever a woman goes through a loss of any type, whether it's a ectopic or you have a chemical miscarriage or miscarriage further in, it's just like, I talk to women about this all the time. It's just the shittiest thing because
Yeah.
you're emotionally just devastated. And then now you have to go and do all this stuff. And then for a devastating reason, there's no payoff.
Yeah.
And then your body's hurting because you have to do all these things.
Right. And yeah, like losing like a pregnancy so early, it's like not everyone knows that you were even pregnant.
Yes.
So and now you have to go out there with like a brave face, like everything's okay. I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're not really fine, but then,
it feels so like alone and like secretive.
Did you share this with any of your family members, or was it just you and your husband?
I shared this with my family, and I called my boss and I was like, oh, I'm having an ectopic, I have to go to surgery. And she was like, oh my God, of course, no worries. We'll cover you for however long you need. And so that was really nice. Like I had all their support, and I did have family support as well.
Okay. So you happily get pregnant, and did the first situation cause a lot of anxiety in the second?
Yes. But kind of in this like strangely reassuring way, like when you have an ectopic, you have to, like, as soon as you get pregnant, they want to start like monitoring everything. So like, because I think when you just regularly get pregnant,
they don't really check you that much.
yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, they're like, I'll see you in 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I had to go in like every week, and I saw things were in the right place this time, and things were progressing well. So that was reassuring.
I had a low-lying placenta. And because of that, I was in for ultrasounds constantly throughout the entire pregnancy. And it actually, like, besides the fact that I couldn't train because I was on pelvic rest, I was like, I like this. I don't want to be a 41-year-old pregnant person having an ultrasound every, like, 15 weeks, whatever the number is. Yeah. Okay, so how was your first trimester? Were you experiencing all of the things, all of the nausea and stuff?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so I actually found out I was pregnant like show week of this Alice production that we do that we've been doing the past 5 years. So I was very busy, but I was like 5 weeks pregnant. So I didn't feel anything yet. It probably wasn't until I was like 7 weeks pregnant. I think I got all the nausea, just no energy, fatigued, all the normal regular stuff that sucks. Yeah.
Okay, and were you just clawing your way through it that week because you couldn't just go home and be in a bed?
Yeah. Yeah, but it was probably around like week 11 things lifted, and I had a gig that week, and I was like, oh wow, I want to eat food again. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you do the gig? You ended up doing it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and how did it feel?
It was great.
Okay.
It felt really good. I wasn't nauseous. I could eat food again, and yeah, it was like around that time I kind of felt like superhuman almost. Like I felt like I had like more energy and more strength, and I was like, yeah, let's train, let's do this. And that was nice. I felt just really strong around that time.
Now, do you have like a lot of like-minded people surrounding you, or did anybody give you a hard time for performing while you're pregnant?
I had a lot of like-minded people around me.
I love it.
Yeah, which was awesome.
That's amazing. I don't think that everybody has that experience, but the ones that do, it's like me and my friends as well. Because my friend Sarah, she was pregnant and she was in, oh, what show is that? It's the Rockettes. And she was doing all harness stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was Christmas. And that's not one gig, it's like however many shows a week and all that. Yeah.
Holy
People are
moly.
superhumans. And like the idea of like flying around and your kid is with you while you're in the air, Okay, so you go in, you're a superhuman, you go through second trimester. Anything happen? Anything of note? And then going into your third trimester and the kid coming out. Tell us that story.
Yeah. Gosh, that's quite a story. But my second trimester, great. Loved the second trimester, amazing. I went to like NECA does like this aerial skills week, and me and my coworkers, we had been like the past 2 years, or yeah, I think the past 2 years. And so I went with them, and I think I was around like 15 weeks then, and still participated in the skills week, and it was fun. And then around my third trimester, things got harder. We were doing our Alice auditions, and for one of the things that we wanted to see, we like tied a knot in the silks, and I tried to like pull up into the silks just to put some weight on the knot to like cinch it. And as I did that pull up, I felt like this terrible pain in like my right upper quadrant. And I actually still have that pain with me to this day. So I'm not sure what it is. I think I maybe pulled a muscle in my abdomen. But that bothered me for the rest of my pregnancy. So it was like a lot of that, back pain. I think the normal third trimester stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you have a birth plan, and did it go to plan?
I had a birth plan and it went out the window.
Okay. Please explain.
So I did all of my, well, once I was cleared by my OB, I switched over to a midwife and was going to have a birth at a birth center. I wanted to have, a non-medicated birth in the water, chill, whatever. And when I went into labor, I think, so I went into labor around like, it was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And I was like, great, I'm going to have this baby before Thanksgiving. It's going to be great. Because I didn't want to have him after or even on Thanksgiving. And I went to labor around like 6 a.m. And I was like, okay, cool. Just breathing through everything, just trying to like go about my day. And around like midnight, like I call my midwife and I'm like, my contractions, they're like 4 minutes apart. They're like really consistent. She was like, okay, come in and we'll check you out. And then she was, as soon as I walked in the door, she was like, you seem a little too happy to be in active labor. And I was like, okay. And then she checked me and she was like, you're probably 1 centimeter dilated. And I was like, all right. So she sent me home, was like, try to get some rest. I tried to get rest. Didn't really work. And then around noon the next day, I was like, can you please just check me out again? I've just been having these contractions every 4 minutes for over a day.
And how strong were they compared to like what they were going to be as you were progressing?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I feel, honestly, it was all just such a blur. It felt probably the same. I did end up with like an epidural, so I don't know. But Yeah, it just was consistent and just every 4 minutes. And so I go in there and I was like a centimeter and a half, 2 centimeters
Oh,
dilated.
that's so frustrating. You're like, oh my God, this is not progressing.
Yeah, just was not progressing. And at that point, it had been like 36 hours.
Wow.
So, yeah. And my midwife, she looked at me and she was like, you can stay here and try. I can try to give you some herbs or whatever, or you can transfer and get some medicated relief. She was like, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You could have had like 3 babies by now. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital and we got checked in and they gave me some kind of painkiller. I don't know what it was, but I was able to sleep for maybe a couple hours. And then I opted for the epidural. And I still, I mean, I progressed a little bit after I got the pain relief. I was maybe at like a 6. And I was like, okay, cool. And around midnight Thursday, so Thanksgiving,
Oh,
like
wow.
coming into Thanksgiving, I tried pushing with one of the midwives that's there at the hospital, and I guess a lot of women were having babies, but she was like, he's in a weird position. I'll come back. Just try to labor down, I think is what she told me to do. And I was just so frustrated. Just this has been going on for so long. And I'm
Yeah.
like, my doula at the time, she's like, if you want to push, you should just push because, if the baby starts coming, they'll get someone in here. And I'm trying to do all the things. And this midwife so I guess they switched shifts at 7 o'clock. So I had seen her when I first came in, and she clocked in for her shift at 7 in the morning on Thursday.
And she's like, you're still here.
Yeah. She was like, I am shocked to still see you in one piece. Let's get this baby out. And she was like a drill sergeant, but like in the best way. And, it was just like coaching me, push, you keep doing it. And 45 minutes later, my baby boy arrived at like 7:45 on Thanksgiving morning.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
And you didn't need to and you had the baby out of your body without a C-section. This is
That was like
great.
Where I thought this was going. I was like, oh my God.
Well, that's where it usually goes if you're that far.
Yeah, after 50 hours of labor.
Yeah, that's what happened with all of my friends that had to go that far in.
Yeah. So I was thankful for that one midwife coming in and just making me just dig deep and push it out. Especially after just being awake for days.
Yeah.
Doing the hardest work.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and he was like 9.5 pounds, which I had no idea he was gonna be that big.
Yeah, that's a big baby.
Yeah, for my first.
Wow. Gabriella, how old are you right now?
I am 31.
You're 31. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine having another?
I can, and I think I would like to. Okay. Depends on the day.
Well, that's the great thing about amnesia, because you'll totally like, even more time will pass and it'll be like, oh, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, I know. I already think back to like those first few weeks of like the newborn stage, and I'm like, oh, that was easy compared to now that he's crawling and getting into everything.
Oh my goodness. Well, did you end up breastfeeding or not?
I ended up, that was like a whole other thing.
Oh so, my goodness. We have so many chapters to this podcast.
I know. Yeah, but basically the whole theme of like motherhood is just like things are not gonna go the way that you plan for them to go. And you just have to adjust and just be flexible. But I did end up, so I was like, I'm going to breastfeed for 2 years. It's going to be fabulous. And I did not. So he ended up having like tongue tie, lip tie. Yeah. So he was like a 9.5 pound baby. He dropped down to like a 6 pound baby.
Oh my God, that's
And
so stressful.
yeah, so he was like losing all this weight, and we were like doing all these feeding, like going to see like an IBCLC, like a lactation consultant, and like yeah, we had to go to the doctor, and it was just like this whole thing. So I was breastfeeding, and then we started doing like combination feeding. And I did end up doing like combo feeding until 6 months, and then I ended up getting like a cold. My supply completely tanked, and now we're just on formula.
Okay. And how much was that emotional for you?
Oh, it was so emotional.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was it's like one of those things, and like everybody said it. Everyone was like, be prepared for breastfeeding. Make sure you find a lactation consultant, like it's going to be hard. And I was like, how is it going to be hard? Like we've been doing this forever. And it ended up being hard. Yeah, he had to get like a tongue tie release, which was like this surgery thing. And even after that, I feel like he had such a disdain for the breast because it wasn't giving him all of it. He was just like rejecting the breast, and then I was pumping, and it was like a whole thing. And yeah, I felt like I had all these expectations, and I just had to let them go.
Yeah. It's a loss, right? And also, anytime, like, you went through your first surgery at 31 years old, and your baby went through their first surgery at like a month.
Right.
That's also very, very traumatic, I think, for you and your family.
Yeah, it was a lot, and you just never know what to expect.
I had a surgery as an infant at 6 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's something I talk about all the time because it was my butthole.
Oh no.
See, this is how I bring levity to this story. If anybody's wondering, I pull this shit out of my butt, no pun intended, and then I make levity out of this not light conversation. So I don't know what happened. Even now, the doctor that what they call colorectal surgeon I just talked to, even he doesn't know why. He's like, what probably happened is that your rectum / anus was not fully opened as a newborn, and I was to term. I wasn't a preemie. And then so 6 months later, they had to go and fully open the hole.
Oh wow.
This is so I know you guys wanted this story, by the way. So they fully opened the hole, and then the reason why I was going into a colorectal surgeon is because I've had like incontinence issues my whole life, and I'm trying to figure, like, I'm not having pain, but like I was having issues my whole life. I was like, it is time for me to figure out what is going on.
Right.
And so his theory was that the muscle that is like a rubber band around the closing was never fully connected.
Oh.
I know. I need to do a whole episode on this.
You do.
I need to do a whole episode on this, but
I'm
like,
just how does that like affect your training and stuff too?
Basically what happens is I also have IBS, and these two things don't go well together.
I couldn't imagine that they would.
So I'm just running in the bathroom too a lot. My whole life, I just run in the bathroom. I'm like, why does? And then my kid, who's got like a perfectly working butt, as we call it, like she, like we'll be out, and every single time, 100% of the time, not even 99% of the time. So 100% of the time, we're out, we're at Chick-fil-A, we're eating lunch. I'll be like, Bean, I have to go to the bathroom. You have to come with me right now. And she has learned that she takes my hand and we run.
And then I get sick in the play place.
Yeah, you did get sick at the play place. But, and then also 100% of the time, if for any reason anybody asks me, I blame it on her.
You're like, she's
My
gotta
kid,
go.
yeah.
It's an emergency.
It's an emergency. But wink, wink, it's not her emergency.
Wow. Well, you got a good cover.
Dude, I've got a great cover now. And like the same thing, like, you know, it's like if you have IBS, you have gas. I'm like, oh, the baby. Oh, stinky.
Oh my gosh.
It's like having a dog around, you know, like you can always blame it on the dog because the dogs have terrible, terrible toots. Anyways, Gabriella, this is how we bring levity to this podcast. Okay, so now you're a mom and you have let go of the breastfeeding. Your kid had a tongue tie. How's it been going the last, I should go back one question. How was your fourth trimester besides, was that your fourth trimester, the tongue tie and the breastfeeding?
Yeah.
Okay. That is the chapter named
Yes.
tongue tie. Okay.
Basically, it was a lot of that. It was a lot of going back and forth to the doctor, and then like you get the tongue tie release at the dentist, and like so I went to the dentist, and but it was nice because my husband did get a lot of paternity leave, so which I know a lot of people don't have that. So I was thankful to have him as like a support, especially being a first time mom and him being a more seasoned parent. But yeah, it was a lot. It was all about the feeding, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I had a friend who had a kid who just wasn't putting on weight and she wasn't producing enough. No, I'm not done. And you are really messing up the end of this podcast. Go, I'll call you. She doesn't trust that I'll call her because I forget half the time. So she's like, I don't know about this, Mom. Okay, so the thing is about fourth trimester, I believe that is even more traumatic to have a shitty fourth trimester because everyone in the world is like, are you glowing and happy? Because your baby just came out and the baby's so cute and everybody wants to squeeze the baby and then you're struggling.
Right.
So
it was really nice to not be pregnant anymore. I will say that.
Okay, Gabriella, I like to do this as a quick question. What's your favorite part, fourth trimester, about not being pregnant? What was your favorite part?
Oh gosh, just like getting out of bed or being able to pick something up off the floor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was like, wow. Yeah, or even like getting up off the couch was so difficult towards the end.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I can move around. Or like sleeping. Sleeping was great.
Are you a belly sleeper?
So I was always a back sleeper. And then, you know, like they say, don't sleep on your back when you're pregnant. So then I had to sleep on my side. And now I find that I'm sleeping on my side a lot now. But it was nice. And I had like the giant pregnancy pillow in the bed. It was nice to get rid of that and like be able to like have my husband hold me and hold my husband.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely TikToks of men like taking that pregnancy pillow and setting it on fire.
Just throw it in the trash.
Like dumpster fire, and just celebrating. I say this all the time. My favorite, because I missed it so much, to do a pancake on the ground. So legs wide straddle, lay on the floor with my chest.
Yes.
That was like, oh my God, this is like an emotional orgasm right here.
So good.
Yeah, so good. And so now your baby's crawling, you're in your 10th month, and you are performing. How, really quick before we go, because we ate up this hour with a lot of stories and a lot of interruptions. I'm so sorry about that. But
Okay.
tell me your... No, I'm not done. Go. She doesn't trust me at all with this. Tell me, did you have any pelvic floor issues, any incontinence, any like, how did you get your body back to just your first days of aerial? Just a little spot on that before we go, because I know a lot of women like to hear that.
Yeah, so because I had such a long labor, kind of traumatic birth, a lot of pushing. I did have some like incontinence issues, so I did see a pelvic floor therapist. And that was nice, but I felt like just getting back into my aerial practice also helped those things.
Any prep that you did to go back to your aerial practice?
Yeah, so the pelvic floor therapist also does abdominal stuff too. So they assessed me and they said I had a pretty just like normal diastasis recti. So they said that that should go back with the exercises that they recommended. Um, but I feel pretty healed and happy to be where I'm at now.
Oh, this is good. And you
Yeah.
just performed. Do you feel like you have, like, what percentage do you feel like you're back physically in the air?
Physically in the air, I would say 98%.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel really good in the air, which like in those early months, I was like, there's no way. But yeah, things just started feeling better around like 6 months, and then 7 months, 8 months, and now that I'm here, I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling about back where I was. So,
Did you start doing like arm stuff, shoulder stuff? Like, when did you start on that?
so let's see. I started teaching again around. I took 12 weeks, so so 3 months postpartum. I started teaching again, and that was humbling, teaching my students. And I'm like, wow, a straddle is extremely hard right now. But I just started really slow. Just, okay, I'm going to go into the studio. I'm just going to do some shoulder shrugs. I'm going to do just like some alternating knees to chest. I'm going to try a climb, and then just slowly just build until I got to where I am now.
This is great. I'm really happy for you. It
Yeah,
didn't really
thank you.
go. It didn't really go that way for me, but I had a C-section.
Yeah,
And I'm also like 10 years older than you, so I think that makes a difference.
right. Yeah. It's sometimes interesting to just think, I'm like, wow, if I would have had a baby 6 years ago,
Yeah.
like what, like, I don't know. So some of my friends who had babies in their early 20s, they're like, oh yeah, by like 12 weeks, I was like back to my pre-pregnancy weight and all this stuff. And I was like one of those people that I feel like I immediately lost all the weight, but then gained weight postpartum and then kind of had to.
I mean, in the Bible, aren't the moms like 14, 15 years old?
Right.
Like when the body wants to do it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're like pushing the envelope. I have been interviewing quite a number of Gen Z who are making the choice to stop everything they're doing, have the kid now, have the multiple kids now, and they're very happy and they're very mindful about it. It's not a mistake.
Wow.
I was like, I think they all got traumatized by Gen X and like older millennials decision making.
Yeah.
Like not young millennials, older millennials. You're not an older, you're like,
I'm a younger millennial.
you're a younger millennial. Yeah. I think everybody's traumatized by, freezing eggs at 41 years old to have a kid at 45. I mean, come on. Like, this is like not the best way forward,
Yeah.
Gabriella, last question I always want to ask. If you have a bit of advice for any aerial mamas out there, any advice you have to offer, we would love to hear it.
Yeah. My advice is to one, listen to your body. If it feels bad, don't do it. But I mean, I understand, people being afraid to continue aerials into their pregnancy, but basically do what you feel. And yeah, just learn to go with the flow, because motherhood will take you to some crazy places that maybe you didn't expect to go. And you just have to be flexible and adjust and adapt.
Gabriella, somebody would love to say goodbye to you. See?
Bye.
I didn't forget this time. Hold on.
Bye.
I know. I'm not reliable. That's why she was like checking every 2 seconds.
Bye.
Bye.
Gabriella, I appreciate you carving out the time. Any mama who's had a baby come out and you're taking care of that kid and working, it is that schedule's no joke. So I appreciate you so much and cannot wait to see how things keep on going. If you guys decide to have more kids, we'll come back and do a check-in in about a year or something. My friends, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. If you'd like to be in the podcast, just send me a DM or email me, Carrie@wrapyourheadaroundsilks.com. This is for you guys. It's for the worldwide community. So if you have a story that you'd love to share, please reach out. I'd love to have you as a virtual student. So if you go to the show notes, there's links for all of my online resources, free mini course, comprehensive beginner to intermediate, and aero rehab as well. I'd love to have you guys there. And check out Greener Grass. It's the podcast that I do with Kelly McVeigh. And we talk about so many things that you might care about. And then we also just gab. We have so much fun. Please leave me a 5-star rating and review. It makes such a huge difference. So I would appreciate that with all of my heart. And thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Over and out. This is Carrie with Wrap Your Head Around Silks. This is the Expecting Podcast.
Open up.